morning and welcome back. It is currently Tuesday of week 17 of my becoming an artist again journey. This week, my goal is to either move on to the next lecture in my art program. For those of you who might be new here, or if you need a reminder, I am working on the Marc Brunet art school. I'll put a little thing here. He is a former Blizzard concept designer, and he has this whole art program that you can kind of start from the basics and work your way up. I also want to do the Cricut sticker paper gauntlet this week. So I need to, 1, get the Cricut working, 2, test all of the sticker paper. And I keep looking over there because I have a pile of them on the table. Not testing that many. I'm testing maybe 3 sticker papers and 2 or 3 laminates. So nothing crazy, but enough to kind of, and they're varying in price and stuff, enough to give me an idea of what I like and what I don't like. But we'll get into that more later. First, we'll do the inspiration for the week. So, as far as books go, I'm still reading Darker Shade of Magic with my friend. This is our book club book. We were previously reading 5 chapters per week, but this is due next week at the library, so we upped it to 10. And there's only this much left, but shockingly still 20 chapters. So this is why we have had to accelerate it, and we're probably going to have to accelerate even more so that I can return it on time. And I can't renew it because someone's in line for it. So we're going to finish this in the next week. That will be the last book update for a while because I'm going to be reading this for the rest of the month, likely. This is the 3rd book in the Lycanius trilogy by James Islington. And I didn't realize that it was the size of my head. So this is going to take the rest of the month. I have just started it. I'm already a little bit overwhelmed with all of the characters and all of the lore that I have forgotten since I haven't read one of these in like a month. But they have a nice synopsis at the beginning, so I'm hoping I'll get myself back on track, and we'll see how this goes. As far as games go, I am now at 75% completion on Stardew Valley. I know. I'm at the point where all of the achievements are the high-level ones, like make $10 million and buy a golden clock kind of thing. So they're all like, they're going to take a long time. Still hoping to finish that by the end of the year. Still making progress, but I'm not making percentage progress. I'm just grinding, essentially. I played a couple games of Marvel Rivals, but there's a new character, and the new character is very overpowered, so it's kind of just getting, beat up by the new character every time you play around. So we played like 5 rounds, but just not. I think I'm getting over it a little bit. And then I'm still playing Pokemon TCG Pocket, twice a day, just for 10 minutes. As far as art inspiration goes, that's where I have a problem. Historically, Instagram is my only social media. I do dabble a little bit on Blue Sky. I don't have TikTok. I don't have Facebook. I have Snapchat, but I hate it, and I don't use it very often. So Instagram's really my only social media. And as of late, my entire feed has been ads. So it's either been, people I do follow, but only showing me their ad content, or ads, which has been super annoying. When I do get posts on my feed of people I follow, it's things that I've already seen. So I don't know what it is, if my algorithm's just really screwed up right now, but Instagram has sucked. And basically I open it, I start seeing a bunch of ads, I close it. So I'm hoping that I'm training the algorithm that I don't want to see nothing but ads, but who knows. So with that being said, I have not been on social media a lot, which is technically a good thing. And I have not been being inspired by artists a lot on social media, which sucks. However, the art on some of the Pokemon TCG Pocket cards is amazing. And if you click the card, you can see who illustrated it. And as of right now, I don't think that they're using AI to generate card art. So that's been pretty inspiring. And I wish that they would put out an art book that just has all of the art cards without the text and stuff. So just like prints, essentially. I wish that they would either put out prints for some of these cards or put out a book with all of them, because I would buy that. Some of the card art is just so nice. So that has been pretty inspiring. before I jump into stuff, I'm going to get you guys caught up on the Cricut progress. So on Sunday, today's Tuesday, on Sunday I plugged the Cricut in and I started looking up how to get it to cut what you want it to cut. Previously, I had only ever seen people use only 6x8-ish of the 8.5 by 11 page and put a big black box around it, which I thought was the standard. I've never had a Cricut, I've never used a Cricut, so I was coming in pretty blind, only having seen other people make stickers in the past. That felt really wasteful to me, and some of them had mentioned how wasteful that it felt. So while I was doing the setup, I of course stumbled into a rabbit hole of how to make your Cricut cut from the whole page. And essentially what they were doing was they were using masking tape and then having the Cricut cut its default square, like its default 8.5 by 11 square, and then using that to essentially make a jig where you always put the paper in the same place. And that made sense to me. You know, if we're creating the bounds and then we always put it in the same place and then we always put the sticker sheet defaulting where Cricut wants to, it should cut just fine, right? Wrong. I did it. I didn't have the tape in quite the right place, so it cut my mat. And then I tried it anyway and the stickers were totally off, as you can see here. I then took the tape off, redid the tape correctly, what I thought, and did it again, and the stickers were still off. So that's where we are. I, of course, then dove into Reddit, and on Reddit, people were like, hey, that doesn't actually work. The Cricut is not reliable enough. You know, if the Cricut were super reliable, that would be great, but it's not. So we are starting from scratch. I have since learned that most of them can cut in a bigger part of the paper now, and you can use little corner brackets to tell it instead of a whole big line. So the plan is to get the Cricut actually working and then print some stickers. I am kind of reaching the conclusion that unless I spend a bunch of money on an artwork scanner, I don't know that I'm going to be able to draw things traditionally to make stickers. I don't know that the quality is going to be good enough unless I start drawing things bigger, which I could do, especially now that I'm doing the like sizing it up on the computer and printing it out and then tracing it thing. I could do that, but I definitely think with prints, I'm gonna have to draw them digitally, which means I'm gonna have to figure out how to make digital art that I think looks good, because I still don't feel like I'm comfortable enough. So that sucks, but I have enough stuff photographed for just quick little tests and stuff, and I might honestly make something really, really simple so I'm not wasting a bunch of ink. But our goal this week is to get the Cricut working and start the sticker paper gauntlet. So let's get started. Okay, so we have had success. I don't know if I'm going to keep this design, but I just made this file for like a watermark on drawings. I figured when I like pack orders or something, I could put these on, I don't know, mailers or something. I needed to stop printing full color things. So yeah, anyway, long story short, the Cricut seems to now be working. I thought it was going to be a little bit annoying to put the file in the Cricut space and then print from Cricut, but it wasn't that bad, especially since I then did not have to also make the cut guide. However, I don't like that I have like no control over the print quality. It's not like they printed fine, but I'm worried that when I'm printing things that are a little bit more detail oriented or like artwork related, that I'm going to have problems. It did take 3 tests to get it right, but both of these I was trying to use the whole paper hack, and this one I did it the way that you're supposed to. So amazing how that works. It's not really wasting as much space as I feel like it used to, and it's also not printing as large of guides as it used to, because when I had watched people make stickers on Cricuts, it had a huge black box all the way around. Obviously, the technology has gotten better over time, and even though I have an older machine, it thankfully still supports that. So I am interested to see, one, how close I can get these to... I'm going to probably look up the maximum printable area, see how close I can get these to the edges, because it said it supported full bleed up to the sensors. So I think I'm going to try to see how close I can get to this without issues, and then how close I can get them to each other without issues. Because realistically, this is an okay number of stickers to get off of one sheet. I didn't even pack them in that hard because I didn't want to waste a bunch of ink for it to go not work again. So we're going to mess with it a little bit more. But I am thinking that the photos of the artwork is not quite good enough. So I'm going to have to figure something out there. I think I might, and I did use 2 different print settings between these two, and they don't look super different. This one is obviously closer to what the actual is, and this one I let the printer manage the colors. This one was Photoshop managing the colors. This one's a little bit truer to life. But it's still not, I don't think it's good enough. And I didn't clean this up like at all, but I don't know. I think I might have to start saving for a scanner so that I can get my artwork scanned better. Because they're not poppy enough. But I also have seen people pull their sticker, like, you know, take the picture of their file and then bring it in Photoshop and then color over it a little bit to pump it up. So I might also try that. We are ready for the sticker paper gauntlet because now I can get the stickers to actually work. So let's do it. Hello. It is now Thursday and all of my I just moved the camera. All of my sticker paper is in, so we're going to talk through what I got. I got 3 kinds of sticker paper. I tried to get one that was inexpensive. Sorry if I keep looking down, I'm looking at my spreadsheet. I got one that was inexpensive, one that was kind of medium, and then one that was expensive, which is the Cricut paper. Spoiler alert, the Cricut paper already has a point against it because it's in a roll, and I find that the rolls act kind of funny, but we'll see. I also got 2 different kinds of laminate, but one is a sample pack, so that one's gonna have 3 different kinds of paper and then a laminate, so we will see. Okay, so let's go through what I got. Previously, for all my testing, I've been using this Joyeza paper that I had left over. I used to use Expressions vinyl as sticker paper, but it doesn't seem like they sell what I was getting anymore. Honestly, that kind of made me nervous enough to not want to buy more. I don't really like this paper. It's okay for tests, but I find that it's very thin, and so it's not my favorite. So I do have a piece out so that I can compare it to the new paper to see if they're thicker. This is supposed to be only 100 microns thick. Honestly, finding the paper thicknesses was a nightmare. For a lot of them, I couldn't. So a lot of it's going to be off of feel. My cheap paper is this one. This is all over Reddit. It's GWYBKQ paper. It's unfortunately on Amazon, and like I said, I've been trying to not use Amazon, so that's a point against it. It does come down to about 28 cents per sheet, which is pretty good. Okay, so right off the bat, this feels, it's actually hard to see which side's the sticker versus the backing. So already this feels way thicker than the paper that I have. I would say probably double thickness. The matte texture looks pretty nice and smooth. First impression, thicker than what I have, which is good. I did mostly get matte sticker paper because I've heard that there's some problems with getting glossy paper and then the ink doesn't stick. And I like matte stickers better, so I also tried to get matte vinyl when possible. But I do have some glossy vinyl because I do, maybe I'll change my mind. The other sticker paper I got was Butter Crafts, and this one is the sampler pack. So this one I got 5 pieces of matte paper, 5 pieces of glossy paper, 5 pieces of clear paper, which I'm excited about, and then 5 pieces of their laminate. So this will be a contender for both. I'm hoping that it's labeled what it is somehow, or I'm just gonna have to guess. Oh, okay, it's separated. Is each one labeled? No. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so this feels pretty thin. The clear is way thinner than the other sheets. So otherwise these seem okay. Gonna have to suss out which is which, but that should be decently easy. The Buttercrafts vinyl is about 48 cents per sheet, and then the Cricut vinyl is almost 70 cents per sheet. So that's an additional 30 cents from the other one. And it comes in a tube, so I'm worried it's gonna bend. As far as the laminate goes, I got Origard 210, which is all over the internet. This was 51 cents per sheet. Laminate is from what I'm seeing, more expensive than the paper, which is fine. The main thing that we're going to be looking for with the laminate is that it is very transparent and not like foggy, especially with the matte laminate. So this feels thinner than the laminate that I've had before, but not terrible. The Buttercrafts laminate, which I think is this bag, is about 75 cents per sheet, so 20 cents more, but it feels thicker, so that's something to take into account. Okay, so I'm gonna put my options up here on the screen. Sticker paper, laminate, and the way that I'm gonna do this is, my partner and I talked about it a little bit. Thankfully, he had some good ideas. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna design a file that has a rainbow strip at the top, and then that is a shape and maybe like a cloud or something. And then I'm going to put the name of the sticker paper and the name of the sticker laminate so that I can keep track of which one is which. I'm going to print a few per page, and I'm also going to print just some like Taste of Aero ones since I don't want to waste all the paper. And then what I'm going to do is, one, I'm going to compare them all just as the paper. Then I'm going to compare them all with the laminate, since the design will be pretty similar, so I can tell the differences between the laminates. Then I'm going to take one off of each kind and put them on a water bottle and leave it in the dishwasher for like a week or two, maybe like a week, to see how they hold up to water. Because one, if the laminate's not actually waterproof for 7 washes, it's not gonna work. And two, I'm of course gonna recommend that you hand wash anything with stickers on it that is washable, always, but I'm not a hand wash kind of person, so I want it to at least be able to live in the dishwasher for a little bit. And then I can compare it to the original sticker that will still be on the sticker paper to see how it did. Today I have to do some editing, but I'm also going to try to make this file, and I will, I'll record the process. So let's go. This whole huge box that I'm sure you could see in the background of that sticker paper stuff was literally just for a standing desk balance thing, which I'll show you in a second, and like the desk mat that goes under your chair so it doesn't ruin the rug. This whole box! But I am excited about this. It's like a balance board, and you so you can balance on it, and then it's got like a foot massager. And I'm kind of a fidgety stander, so I think this is gonna be pretty good. Okay, I wouldn't say that it's done because obviously the marker ran out of ink and I'm gonna have to fix that probably digitally because despite going over it with colored pencil, which looks nice over here, it's still pretty streaky. But I like how the scales right here turned out. I wish the rest had turned out like that. Anyway, it's done enough. We finished our first, I don't know, whole thing. And then I flubbed with my signature. Woo! And then otherwise I've just been doing some studies. Wow, these look like bad from far away. Up close they don't look so bad. Sorry. Smiling is hard, man. That's like a half smile. But yeah, did some studies. That's where we're at.